There you go. So mic check for everyone out there.
Check.
Checking the mic.
Checking the mics.
Check.
Fuck you, Briar. I know
Mic
you're just
check.
mouthing your words. I can see that. You don't have proper inflection going. You don't move your mouth that much when you speak, boy.
I can't talk to.
Oh my gosh.
Briar looking like a foreign film getting translated over.
All right, should be all up and running.
Alrighty. Am I hearing an echo from somewhere?
Probably.
I don't hear one.
Whatever.
Echo?
Whatever. Ryan's editing the audio this week, so he can deal with it.
Edit skills.
All right.
I am almost ready to go, you know. I am
Okay.
got my stuff in line.
Pat, where's the face cam? It's on top of my computer, not working on this one, and I'm too lazy to go put it on the webcam over there because then I have to disconnect another microphone. It's entirely too much work for the amount of energy that I have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a case of lazy bones.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and give Patrick an image here.
Okay. I pre-approved all these
In my
images.
face, yeah.
Pre-approved all of these images.
This is.
Let me see if I can pull this up.
Please put up an image of Alison Brie. Or, you know.
I don't feel like it's going to go that way.
No, it's not going to go that way. It's going to go so horribly the opposite.
I want to see this.
I'm just going to watch it later so I don't get distracted by watching it right now.
There we go. There you
Man,
go.
the
Patrick.
anticipation.
This is Patrick's image since we can get a.
Everyone's saying you're really quiet, Pope.
Ah, great, awesome. I'm quiet, but I thought I could hear myself just fine when I was testing it earlier.
There we go. Yes.
Yes, that is
Beautiful.
perfect.
Nailed it.
Cool. I can't see it, but I imagine it's great.
Well, you're showing a lot of skin. It's really hot. Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Definitely
Low
hot.
cut.
Like you might be sunburned, actually.
Oh. I am Irish American, so that's probably a possibility.
You too?
All right. So what do you
Wow.
guys say we get on in this thing? I think we've got
Get deep?
we got the audio going. We
got-
got the
we
video
got-
going.
Yeah, everything's working.
We're recording.
We got
on
the
Destiny.
audience here. Chat's going. Okay.
All right.
Let's get ready to start this up. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to the 54th Planet Destiny podcast. There's a lot to talk about today. To
There
put
is
it
a
lightly,
lot to talk about.
there is a lot to talk about. I don't want to immediately start getting into the kind of rough stuff. So,
Nope.
First off, hey everyone that's been wanting to buy a Planet Destiny T-shirt, we got a store now.
That's
It's
true.
probably-
Yes.
There's a store now. The link is somewhere. Go to, if you're on our YouTube page, at like the top of it, there's like a little link that goes to the store, and you can get some T-shirts, some coffee mugs, some hoodies. Very biased that there's only an iPhone 6 case for the phones with
iPhone 6? Oh, that sucks.
just an iPhone 6.
I'm still
over here.
rocking the 5.
Are
I
there
like the
other-
mug. The mug is
The mug
happening
is
for me.
awesome. I'm getting
Yeah.
the mug for sure.
I'm definitely getting the mug.
Probably a hoodie as well.
Would be nice. Yeah.
Well, also, if you guys are noticing that I have changed my appearance,
Looks
I
the same
don't
to
even
me.
know what the actual picture is
Yeah.
for me right now, but it's truly an accurate representation of.
I mean, I think
Up.
you're in the same location where you're at right now. Just saying, like
When
you
I-
might.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Is
you're
it
not far from-
geographically
Is
accurate?
this how you guys
photo?
actually like
Yeah,
see
when
me?
you-
Is
when
this how
you-
you guys actually saw me before
Right.
like you saw my face?
Before you live streamed,
Yeah.
this is the image that I had of you. I don't
Okay.
know.
That's fair.
I mean, it's really not that far off, though. I mean, it's granted it's you in like 30 years,
cousin.
but 20
yeah.
years maybe. 10.
Cousin,
Okay, 10
uncle.
years.
Alternate universe where there was a bit of inbreeding. Anyway, welcome everyone to the podcast. Today, the nothing came out. There's the Bungie weekly update. There's the end of the Cone of Silence that Bungie has been going on about since like middle of December.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, feathers. The feathers and jimmies have been rustled. And
A lot of Jimmy rustling.
A lot of Jimmy rustling. First off, we know about the new event. I think a while back we were like, hey, if there's a new event that's going to be coming, it's probably going to be a Valentine's Day event. And it's a Valentine's Day event. What do you guys think of it, Briar?
Unsurprising, I think. We knew it was going to be about the same kind of thing that we saw with Festival of the Lost. Actually, this one includes a new Crucible mode, which I found a little bit surprising. That's something to check out, a doubles mode. We don't really know what the details of the doubles mode are going to be, but Crimson Days is going to be, a Valentine's kind of day event that you compete in the Crimson doubles matchmaking with a friend, right? And it's a doubles thing. And the wording around this I thought was pretty interesting on Deej's part. It could go a lot of different ways on what kind of Crucible event this is going to be. Just because he was so vague, but he used language that I thought was evocative of other things, So I think it could be interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's going to be better than Festival of the Lost.
You think?
Yeah, because there is an actual gameplay component to it as opposed to just running around the tower.
True.
Well, no. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
All right.
Festival of Lost was also a Crucible. Like, you put your mask on and you go kill in the Crucible.
True.
To
be fair, though, you could complete it in PvE activities too.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
You can complete it, and you can complete the activity anywhere.
I think my biggest thing is, are they going to do something different other than every kill you get fills up your, you get those sweet scrolls or whatever, Like, is it going to be like, you're going to max out your love bar and then you have to give it to Eris Morn or something? Huh?
No,
sorry.
this again.
Sorry. I didn't mean to go down that path already.
Okay.
Don't let Pope Bear talk because, he's going to double down on anything like that. Anyways, I just hope it's something a little bit more than like Crimson Doubles.
I think that's all it's going to be. I think there's going to
really?
be, you're going to run around the tower. You're going to get, letters of some sort from each of the vendors. Maybe there'll be little gifts. Maybe there'll be like little quests for you to complete. But the bulk of this is going to be actually competing in this doubles event.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited about because I like the doubles playlist that we've seen in the past. And they said they're going to add another, there's going to be new gameplay mechanics in this Crimson doubles playlist. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to be. I'm wondering, like, there's all sorts of different ways they could go. Is like maybe everybody's got to use the same type of weapon. Like both players on your team have to use, pulse rifles or something like that. It could go in a lot of different directions with this, and it'd be fun. Like I'm always up for something different.
I feel like they could do like a capture of the Valentine, and they essentially just replace the salvage point with a Valentine or something. I feel like that's going to be Crimson Doubles. I want it to be really interesting, but I'm not holding out for something that's going to be.
Are you? Let's think of it in a positive way, though. What do you think? I mean, what do you think it could be? That's a good thing. That is doubles.
Any doubles playlist is going to make me happy because I like playing doubles.
Doubles is fun. Yeah.
It's gonna have matchmaking, and it's gonna match me with someone of the opposite gender within like a mile radius of me that is also single on this holiday, and then we can hit it off, and we can go to like the local restaurant.
So you want adult friend finder on Destiny?
What?
Or Match.com. Doesn't have to be
Match.com.
adult.
Guardiansmeet.com?
Yeah.
Guardianmeat.com.
That's a whole next
what you're
level
talking about?
LFG right there.
Yeah, yeah.
That-
Can that be an option in the LFG.net?
That is some awesome LFG.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
I have to
Yeah.
add a new category to the LFG key party.
Right?
Crota's End,
What-
King's
Yeah.
Fall, King Party. Key party.
Maybe you have to wear the same shader going in.
That'd be cool.
And that's, you
Mo-
link up your love.
Motions, just one of the guys in chat who posts quite a bit on PlanetDestiny just had a really cool idea. What if the health pools are shared?
That's a really
that
cool
would be
idea.
awesome.
That's
That
insane.
that is a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So would you start off? I mean, in using your idea, Patrick, would you start off with like small things like maybe, the daily, or just a mission or two, and then you'd work your way up to maybe a weekly nightfall, or
Nah,
maybe-
fuck that.
maybe-
If she can't do a doubles trial care with no ambient sidearm, I want nothing. I want nothing.
you want nothing to do with her?
Yeah, no.
All right.
Just saying, you might eventually experience Crota's End.
Nope, too far.
Too
I don't
far,
know.
too far.
I don't know.
Too far.
Well, you might want to
Nah.
want to do some low level raids, low light raids, right? That's what you're saying, right? And maybe that you don't have to be 320, and then maybe you work your way to the King's Fall, and you beat
Yeah.
up Borks together. Little
I have my
threesome there.
standard spoke. And they are unbearably ridiculously high.
We might talk about why you end up playing by yourself all the time.
Yep. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait for me. Don't wait for me.
Oh, man.
All right.
I have chosen my path. So yeah, Crimson Doubles, new game mode coming.
Yes.
The one thing about the event that I'm unsure of, like, it doesn't look like there's anything coming to the event that's going to be like PvE related, for the most part.
No.
It looks like it's mostly going to be a PvP related event with this game mode coming in. And I'm really hoping that of the new content that we see coming, or like the content the live team is doing, I'm really hoping that we get to see some PvE related stuff, because right now there's not a lot that's been coming out for them.
PvE is dried up right now.
Yeah, it's really dried up. I mean, I think challenge modes were kind of the last thing that PvE really had, and that's just kind of tacking on something that was already, it's doing the current fights in a slightly different way. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'd like to see some new PvE content coming soon.
Well,
Yeah.
I doubt we're going to see that without some kind of an expansion or DLC, though.
Yeah.
That's big work, making new levels. Making new missions, strikes, not to mention a raid. What we might see out of this is have some kind of bounties that require you to go out and accomplish certain tasks in patrol or in missions. But in the past, with Festival of the Lost and even the Sparrow Racing League quest line that you got through Amanda Holiday, it was pretty basic stuff. You just had to run a mission or something, and you'd basically complete it automatically. So I wouldn't hold out too much hope for that.
Yeah, I'm not holding out a lot of hope. I'm just hoping that in this grand scheme of things that they're developing, that PvE is in fact included somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
Because even though I am a primary PvP player, the game is kind of catering more towards that for the long-term content than PvE, which is unfortunate for everyone that likes to play PvE. It's frustrating for them.
I think it's harder and more time intensive and more costly to develop PvE content.
Oh, it absolutely
Definitely.
is. And a lot of the times it's not going to have the same amount of replayability that PvP content has. So it makes sense that a lot of the content comes out is PvP and not PvE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this a lot in the House of Wolves days, where we were talking about how we'd like to see Nightfalls with custom modifiers, adding more Nightfall-like modifiers to different missions, different raids, stuff like that. I think would really increase the playability. That's something the live team could do. There was a brief moment where somebody had told me that the Vault of Glass and Crota's hard mode raids were no longer selectable. It turned out to be a false rumor, but I mean, if they just added Nightfall modifiers to that stuff, I'd go through and play them again a few times.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think I'd like to see. Let's just. I didn't do a World of Warcraft reference like a good one last podcast. So let's just get this out of the way right here. I'd really like to see
last time.
Yeah, I definitely half-assed it last time. I don't know. I think it'd be cool for Nightfalls to have like in World of Warcraft there were challenge modes where there were these specific versions of dungeons or strikes that you could run that your gear got downgraded to like the bare minimum level to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like you couldn't have like absolute best in slot gear. Everyone was kind of on the same playing field for the most part. And then there were different tiers of rewards you could get based on the time that you completed it. So there was bronze, silver, and gold. And if you got bronze tier, like you got a title, silver tier, you got a mount, and then gold tier, you got a piece of armor. And you had to do it for all the strikes. But it would be really cool if in like the Nightfall, there was something like that too. Where, I mean, I think that would increase the replayability of the Nightfall instead of just a thing that you ran to get your stupid ghost shell every week. Maybe
like a challenge mode almost for Nightfall.
Kind of maybe like challenge mode for Nightfall. Maybe make it based on time. Maybe make the fights have some sort of thing. Increase the replayability for the Nightfall as well. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Actually, I mean, if we could get another tier of Nightfall rewards, and that also excluded any ghost shells dropping, because what the hell? Then I'd be really happy about that. Like if it was like to complete the Nightfall with less than 300 light level and no exotics equipped or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
great. Another tier. But you are right. It does. They are going to have to do something with the PvE content. I do wonder though how many people may have picked up the game or Taken King, say in Christmas, and are just now getting to the point where they could raid. You know, like right now. Now they can start raiding because they've been working through their leveling and all that. Because obviously they don't have time to invest in it every day, like we do. So at this point they'd be getting into the raid, and they're still doing that PvE content. Like we don't have access to the numbers to see how many people are playing that. We're on the bleeding edge, so we burn through the content really fast. And it does make me wonder how many other people are still experiencing the PvE content that is available. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got to be hard to be a new player, too. Like, all your friends got you to buy the game, and then you come in as a new player, and they're already sick of running all this stuff, so they don't want to play with you. Like, with Dark Below last year, I bet it was a little bit easier. You get the game, your friends are all excited because they're just starting the Dark Below content. Everybody's really excited for the game. This year, it's been 4 months.
Yeah.
Speaking of the whole "it's been 4 months" thing, this time last year, Dark Below had come out, and there were entire new weapons on the vendors.
Yeah. And Necrochasm was around the corner too.
Yeah. Necrochasm is just now starting to drop. Bungie, can we please update the vendors?
Yeah.
I'm going to start saying that every single podcast until it happens or something. Not that me saying it would do anything, but at this point, like, come on, can we get some new weapons, or just at least new roles on said weapons? That would be nice to see.
I'd be happy with just new roles. That would be nice. Because nobody here has bought a vendor weapon in a long time. I would guess.
Oh no, I haven't bought.
I didn't think I bought one at all.
I buy engrams from the Cryptarch, just hoping for good stuff. But that's about it.
I know. With my son, we bought the Dead Orbit Scout Rifle.
Mm-hmm. Hung Jury.
Mm-hmm.
It's a killer roll. Check it out.
It's a killer roll. I think that there's still the new players that are coming in that, I mean, I guess it could update and they wouldn't know the difference, but yeah, I agree. Vendors should be updated.
Pat's right though. Like, it was 4 months, and then we had a vendor refresh, and then it was from that till May, right?
Yeah, that was
we got another refresh. Yeah, that was definitely a longer wait. I think if they're not going to refresh the skins or the actual designs, I feel like every month to 2 months they should refresh the roles at least.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Definitely. A
because
lot of
like
people are like, it needs to happen every week. No, I like the
that'd be too
consistency
much.
of being able to like recommend a weapon to someone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, you could have a tough time getting your marks. You'd be like, oh, I
exactly.
really want to buy this roll before it goes away, and then the week refreshes, and then you're screwed on that
Oh,
roll.
I'm getting good at farming marks, man. Because
Yeah.
I'm going through those special weapon engrams, the Cryptarch, like at least 5 a week.
I'm with you. I've gotten pretty damn good at farming those marks too.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily get 50 in a day
Oh yeah, easily.
without
Nice.
much effort, you know.
Mhm.
And then
It's,
if you put a little time in, you could easily ring up 60, 70.
It's
No,
it's
definitely.
it's nice to have it available to you in with Trials of Osiris. I mean, how many do you get?
Yeah.
Like,
Get a
it's
ton
almost
through that.
90.
You get
isn't it?
150. You get 150.
150 if you do all 3 characters.
150. It's just that's a weapon, right? Every week.
That's a weapon every week. Just from those. Plus, if you do the 2 daily, like the story mission and the PvP thing every day, that'll be 15. That'll be 30 marks total there. The weekly PvP thing, that is like, I think that equates out to 30 marks. I think 30 marks, something like that. Then the weekly thing, that's another 30 marks there.
That's right.
So on Tuesday, you're just on Tuesday, you're looking at like 90-ish marks that you can get just from completing activities.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely available. But the fact is, when you buy that special engram, we know what you're going to get. It's Jabberhocky or next big thing.
It's the jabber hockey for me, over and over and
Oh,
over
Pope,
again.
no.
Actually, you know what? I think I tweeted at Patrick 2,000-yard stairs that I got this week. Or did
Yeah,
I?
no.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
2
no,
of them?
no, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
You did.
Like, since Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
To be fair, though, I have gotten 1,000-yard stare this week.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Out of the 6 special weapon engrams I have turned in. But, it's progress, man. It's progress.
It's progress.
Well, what I'm really excited about is my my collection of Vanguard ghost shells. I feel like
Me
I feel
too.
like I'm getting a really good handle on all these different ghost shells, and it's giving me a chance to collect them all. I feel like it's Pokemon, you know?
Gotta catch them all, yeah.
Right. So I've got one.
I need a full intellect discipline roll one for every type of
Right.
material to
Planetary
gather. Just
Right.
every roll type for every
and you
material.
get Glimmer for different classes, so you can when fighting the Vex and when fighting. So it feels like it's a game within a game. Will I get the Vanguard Ghost Shell that I really want? And it's really interesting. Like, I feel like I have over 20 of them now, and I'm really going through and going to the min max, getting to the meta of the game. Really, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's the thanks for playing parting gift whenever you do the Nightfall.
Right. I don't
like,
actually. I hope
appreciate
I don't want an exotic or even 3 of coins to drop or strange coins or anything like that. I really hope for a different Vanguard Ghost Shell every time.
Your
Yes.
your legendary marks holder that comes in the form of a ghost shell.
That's right.
3 legendary marks, right?
They're really not that hard to rank up too. So you just drop it in and you get 5 legendary marks.
Did you
Great.
guys see the thing I was on Reddit? It's like guide to how to do the Nightfall in under a minute. It's just the dude just loading into the tower, going to the Vanguard vendor, buying a ghost shell, and then dismantling it.
That's freaking awesome.
It's like, yep, that is accurate. That is accurate.
That's funny.
So we got
And
some
accurate,
Iron
yeah.
Banner information. Iron Banner's coming out at the
Yeah.
end of this month.
Yep.
So and they're changing up the game
clockwork.
mode.
Yes.
I'm excited for this, and I am gonna be a proponent of it. I am
Yeah.
super excited about it.
I feel like you fall into either one of two camps with Rift. You either love it or you hate it. And I
Okay.
feel
Yeah.
like a lot of that depends on, do you play with a group when you play Crucible a lot?
Yes.
Rift sucks playing solo.
It's
It's
great.
just not fun.
It's great, especially for Iron Banner, because if you're playing with a group, Iron Banner is a grind to get that first character up to 5. Well, with a team, you're going to be mercy ruling back, every team, right? You're going to be the games are going to be down to less than 2 minutes, and you'll flip to. I mean, as far as I'm
You're
concerned,
gonna spend more time in queue than you are in
right.
game.
So you're gonna be, as far as I'm concerned, I'm excited about Iron Banner being Rift because we're gonna get to rank 5 within in half the time.
That's
Yep.
yeah. That's I feel a lot of that, and I think what I hope is that people who go in solo get matched up against other solo players. Obviously, that's usually not the case. I also hope that we get some better connections, even though that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll get
Because-
to that in a
We're gonna
little
talk
bit.
about
Yeah, of course, of course. Because every time Iron Banner usually rolls around, it usually exemplifies the problems that you get with the connections in there. So
That's right.
I'm excited to play Rift. I think it's great to see that in Iron Banner, and it definitely kindles some like, ooh, yeah, some mojo. Go in there and play it. But I am worried about the first day getting through and then being like, oh my god, why am I playing this?
Yep. So, see, for me, I absolutely adore Rift, but I am usually playing with a team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like that. That's why I usually like it. I can completely understand if you are a player that goes in solo. You probably hate Rift, and it definitely sucks that like we go from like seeing Clash, which is very friendly to people that are solo queuing and people that are going as teams. It's a fairly balanced game mode in that regard. To Rift, which is highly objective based, that really rewards a coordinated team.
Yep.
That's the fun of it, frankly. That's why Rift is fun. That's why people
Yeah.
who like Rift is because you have to play coordinated, you have to use communication, and it's high action. It's a high octane game mode.
I was
It
really.
does have problems though. I mean, like the
Yeah.
spawn system in that.
What do
That's
you think?
rough.
Do you think? So what I was excited for, and I was hoping that they would do, is do 2 playlists that were 6v6 objective, 3v3 objective, right? For Iron Banner, just open that up and not just make one Iron Banner playlist where we have to play 6v6. I think that seeing a game mode like Salvage or Skirmish, as the rotating 3v3s and then the 6v6s. I just feel like there's a lot of players out there that kind of fall into those 2 categories more than anything else. I play 6v6 or I play 3v3, and that's their play style. And to get more people engaged in Iron Banner, they could do that.
Wasn't it last podcast, Pat? You were talking about making all the Crucible playlists get Iron Banner points.
Yeah, like it just the normal Crucible playlist turns into Iron Banner, and then classic playlist is for unpowered.
That'd be
play
great
for that week.
Like, I think that would make a lot of people happy, and a lot of people feel excited to jump in there. Like you can go into Rumble if you want to play solo. You can go into the 3v3s or the 6v6s. I think that's smart. I think a lot of people enjoy that, and also be able to get their Iron Banner rep without having to go into playing one specific mode, because there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be excited about Rift.
It's going to be so frustrating if you just keep encountering full 6-man teams. That is going to be a game mode where you're going to rage quit.
I feel like even in Control, like I had probably like a 50% win ratio when I went in solo. But in Rift, I feel like it's going to be lower.
Yeah.
Because you just need a team to compete well in that.
And I love it. I
do too.
Rift as a game mode. I think it's a lot of fun. It's something that you can do as a team. And what I'm really hoping for is that they focus on PvP right now. Right now this should have already been done. And I don't like them keep posting in the weekly update that's coming later. Some update is coming later. I think they need to be responsive to PvP, because really that's the only thing that's bringing people into this game right now. Trials of Osiris,
the main thing.
Iron
Keeping
Banner.
them there.
Yeah, I mean that's on a weekly cycle. I mean, what else is there? I mean, how many times do you? There's people that still do the raid. You're right, but there's no fresh new content or anything that's happening other than in PvP.
So Nightfall certainly doesn't have the same draw it had.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they've taken
Definitely
away the pop of Nightfall, so the PvE guys are even trying PvP.
Yeah.
So I
Totally.
just feel like they should be putting a lot of focus on PvP right now, making it fun and engaging and exciting, and giving us more opportunities to enjoy the game right now. The same old status quo is not good enough. It's just not good enough.
Yeah.
And I really want to see something else that's drawing us in, that allows us just simple things that, you know, that allow us to play the game that we like to play. And if they ask the community, what do you want to see? It's not 6v6 Rift every week. That's a great game mode if you enjoy Rift and you have a team. So what about other types of players? It's just not really looking at the community as a whole and engaging them in a way that we should be engaged, giving us options.
I got to get my first taste of sweaties last night, and we sat in orbit for 40 minutes trying to queue up.
How did the actual games go once you got to play?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was great. Like I prefer it. I much more prefer knowing the people that I'm killing or getting killed by, so that you can have like a post-mortem afterwards and talk about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Those are great. Those are great experiences. And those are also what I loved about Halo. But the fact that we had to like go like the matchmaking, because it does work, people do it, but there's times where it gets a hiccup because there's too many people on the playlist, and we ended up waiting like roughly 40 minutes and keep on queuing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we want to play this game because it's fun, but like those elements are in the way of us continuing to play it.
I'm pretty.
This is the stuff that we're probably waiting for Destiny 2 to fix. And if Destiny 2 doesn't fix it, I think we're going to have a lot of upset Destiny players.
I'm worried that this list that we're creating, I'm worried that this list that we're creating of what Destiny 2 will fix,
it's getting a little large.
It's
completely off base from what they're actually doing.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned, and I've been a huge fan of Bungie and a huge fan of the game and the company and a proponent of them, to the point where people have called me, a lot of things about, whatever. I am to the point where I'm a little frustrated that we are not seeing some basic changes that we deserve in this game right now, that would make it engaging and fun for the community. And it's not, and it feels like this current game right now, this release is so on the back burner that that we're not getting the attention that it deserves right now. And maybe that's just me, but I feel that way.
Feel like Bungie is saying people still play this game?
Yeah, a little bit.
You guys still play Destiny?
A little bit.
Wow.
Ouch.
I mean, come on. It's like we thought we were told that we were going to get updates sooner, quicker, more often.
Yeah.
Right?
We were told that.
We were told that.
It's quicker.
We were also told that heinous lag problems were going to like get people timed out and banned for a little bit. Like temporary bans. Remember that? The people who were...
Yeah.
This was back in October. Like the people who were most egregious laggers were going to get like filtered out.
Tefty, they realized that would remove half of their player base, so they just decided not to do it.
They're like, oh my God, the netcode is broken. Everybody lags.
If we do that, half of the people playing this game would be gone.
Everybody's on equal footing now. You all lag like crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we solve it. No, I mean, I don't want to... I feel like I got some news in the weekly update, and I know we're going to talk about it, that really kind of made me salty, and it's reflecting in my opinion right now. However, I feel like that we've got some choices to make in this game, and I hope that they haven't given up on it. I hope that they're still plugging away at it the way that they did earlier this year.
I think they are. Like deep down inside, I know Bungie is like working really hard. So this is what I've been saying when I stream. I feel like half the company wants to give us like full information and be like, this is what the problems are. This is what we're doing. This is how we're trying to fix them. And then the other half of the company is like, we need to keep quiet about this and like give this marketing technique because it like creates some sort of weird hype and gets the community riled or something like that. I feel like both sides of the company is battling each other, trying to get information out there or not information, and then they just keep on butting heads and not coming to a conclusion. So we just keep on getting what we get right now, which is this little little piecemeal feeding of there's some sort of content and there's things that are broken and we're not going to acknowledge it right now.
We got to talk about skill-based matchmaking.
It
Just got to jump into it.
Yeah, we have to.
Let's do it.
At this point. It's like, okay, so
Did they lie to us?
let's get the full backstory here
I mean,
for those that maybe aren't playing Destiny right now because it's dead.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Basically, they premiered the Sparrow Racing League. Here's this thing coming in. Everyone, aren't you? Yeah, new game mode. Awesome, cool.
I love that.
Patch hit. We download it.
Yep.
We start playing Sparrow Racing. And then, I finished the Sparrow Racing League quest, and I was like, okay, time to go back to PvP, what I actually enjoy doing. It's a shooting game. I want to shoot things. So go back to that. I'm like, wow, okay, this first match was pretty laggy. Like, half the people were lagging. Huh, okay, better luck next time. And next match is laggy, and the next one, and then I'm realizing I'm also playing against people that are, like, on my same skill level, but are lagging really bad. So long story short, I'm assuming it's in that patch because, well, that's when it seemed to happen. A patch was introduced that changed the matchmaking in Destiny to be more focused on skill rather than on connection.
Yeah.
And
Meanwhile, Bungie employees who were being asked about this
Right.
said no.
Or Briar, do you have the actual tweet?
I can bring it up if you give me half a second here. I have a couple of those saved here.
500 milliseconds just passed.
All right. So what you're feeling is likely the effect of SRL, Sparrow Racing League, on, for example, skirmish population rather than a systematic change. That's one tweet. Mm-hmm. Another one. No new systems for SRL matchmaking. Possible that population is concentrated in the single SRL playlist compared to others. So they were responding to our complaints that there was increased lag with it's probably that the player base has moved over to SRL, so less players in the population means less that the matchmaking can do to get geographically close players together.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And the real telltale thing for how just wrong that statement was when Sparrow Racing League was no longer there, and the lag was still unbelievably apparent.
It's also not just lag. The matchmaking has gotten a lot tougher.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every match you get into, you seem to be matched up with people who have your exact KD.
Yeah.
Now,
also,
which is
when we went to Iron Banner, because everybody thought, okay, SRL is done. Now it's Iron Banner. It became the laggiest Iron Banner that I've ever experienced.
This was the laggiest one to date. I feel like we say that every time Iron Banner comes around, but this one was exceptional. It was exceptional.
It was exceptionally bad.
Yeah, it was like the definition of how not to have fun in a game.
Right.
For me, I was like, I can't do this.
Lars was asked a question in the weekly update, and I'm just going to read it, okay? Because it's something that I want to kind of pick apart. Lars was asked the question, what's going on? Rumor has it that Crucible has been pretty tense lately. Lars answers, yes, it's been getting a little, shall we say, sweaty. One of the bigger complaints we received during year one was that you could get into very lopsided matches in the Crucible. The long-term solution was always to retool and enter the entire skill matchmaking system under the hood so players would have much closer matches. As some stopgap measures, we added systems like blowout prevention and mercy rule until we could do the real stuff with the Taken King. I don't know.
So they lied, right?
Right.
They straight up lied.
I mean, that's my point. Is that I don't agree with this. I don't agree with treating. I'm just gonna go out there. I'm gonna fucking okay. So I'm not happy that their answers are that in order to really put it through its paces, we needed the raw, unbiased data that gave us great results and allowed us to learn how to make it better. I don't think that something like PvP matchmaking is something that you don't tell your community about. Look what happened with Call of Duty. They should have been aware and if for those of you guys that are listening and don't understand what happened, they did something similar in Call of Duty, and the community just went ape shit. And then the next day, or like within like 4 or 5 days, they had switched it off. I mean, and you don't tweak the levers behind the scenes because we're some science experiment, right? This is where I get together. I mean, I don't want to sound too serious about a video game, but this is where I get together to have my fun with my friends and my expectation. And if I go online and they tweak something under the hood and they haven't told me about it, I'm not having fun, right? Because I'm not aware of the change of the rules. It's like getting into a soccer game and all of a sudden they're saying, well, now there's 2 balls. You know, you just don't change you don't change the rules of the game and expect us to just be like, oh, okay, you know, I guess that's okay. It's the same game. I just feel like this was all done ass backwards, and when the community really wanted to know what was going on, right?
They could have said
they
something.
could have said something. They could have just done what Call of Duty and Vandahar did. It's just been like, hey, guess what? We were trying something different, and it made it hard on you. We're really sorry. We're trying to get matches closer. I get it. We're going to back it off as soon as we can. The next update is here. These are the unintended consequences. I just don't like this whole, like, we're going to poke you. We're going to do this science experiment behind your back and not tell you about it just so we can get clean on raw. That pissed me off. I'm not your guinea pig.
I completely agree with you, Pope.
I'm not your guinea pig.
I completely agree.
Yeah, 100%. Also, raw, unbiased data. What? So you can see how laggy matches can possibly get? Like, you know, it just doesn't make sense that they would.
It pissed me off.
The other thing is that, like, we noticed it. It would be one thing if, like, they're like, hey, we introduced this, and we're like, oh, I guess that can explain why I've been seeing a few more, you know, matches against people that are on my skill level. But, like, it was 100% noticeable pretty much the first time you went into the Crucible. It no longer became unbiased data. It became the community trying to find out what the fuck just happened to the game that we like playing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
It's and then the fact that when we try to talk to these developers and the people at Bungie that, you know, we trust with this information, and we're not given, you know, answers. We're giving misdirection or
It just goes back to my simple request from them earlier on. Be open, honest, and communicative to your community, and we'll support you all the way. Yeah. I don't think that they did that here. And
this is coming too right on the heels of everybody saying, but why did you lie to us about the weapon balance update?
Right. And that was a legitimate mistake. I get it.
One could see that as being a legitimate mistake.
Right. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Nobody can see this as being a legitimate mistake. This looks like a lie. You were trying to trick us.
Yeah, they became the bad guys as soon as they said,
this is a PR
looks
freaking
like
nightmare.
We did this, and we tried to experiment, get this data, and you guys immediately noticed it, and then they said nothing, and in fact denied it. And it's like it's a cardinal sin to commit in game development to do this to your community. Because it is literally lying to your community base and saying
they're better.
Nothing's wrong, guys.
They're better than this.
No.
They're better than this. That's the thing. They're better than this. And I don't. It pisses me off because, you know, I feel offended by it. I like hurt by it. And I know that sounds stupid because it's a video game and whatever. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is about this as shitty of a thing that they could do. And it's a company that I've backed their play many times on this podcast, and I can't back this at all.
Yeah. Then this whole update, you know, aside from we knew that the new content that they were going to talk about, they weren't really going to go into it. I was prepared for that. The one thing I really wanted from this update was, you know, acknowledgement of the game state as far as connections in the Crucible, or, you know, talking about the matchmaking. And of course, you know, I got the one thing that I wanted, and in that process it also just, you know, confirmed the worst possible outcome here, that, you know, they fucking lied to us. And yeah, it feels wrong. It just feels straight up wrong.
I want something different. Hey, Briar, we're adding to that list for Destiny 2. All right?
Mm-hmm.
At the very freaking top of it, I want that there will be open and clear communication with your community. If they want me back in Destiny 2, they better start learning that that this kind of crap is going to piss people off, and they're not going to be a part of the game.
They're having a systematic fuck up that just continues to get worse. You know, we were upset with them in year 1 for not being communicative enough. You know, not telling us about updates or telling us when updates were going to come. We were in the midst of the thorn meta, and we were getting really pissed off. But in year 2, it's almost worse. It feels like they're being actively dishonest, and that's worse than not being communicative. This is, you're lying to me. And this is why relationships get broken up. You know, like literally, like it's a cardinal sin in a relationship.
So I'm saying, you don't do that to your community. Like that's the worst thing you could do to a community.
And so I get what they're trying to do. It's not like they're okay. So this is the adult in me. I'm an adult, and I'm gonna act like one. So here's where I am okay. I understand what they're trying to do is for the good of the game. Right? They're trying to give us what we want, which is not blowouts like year 1 where the matchmaking was all, and they're trying to give us a closer balanced game, and they're trying to give us things that we're asking for in year 1, right? That's what they were trying to do. They weren't trying to, mess with us just for the fun of it, right? That's not, right. They don't have malice intent in what they're doing, but they went about it the wrong way. I agree with the ends, but the ends don't justify the means. I'm sorry.
Right.
And that's what's pissing me off.
Right. So their justification for it was they're trying to prevent the blowouts that happened in year 1. And if anybody who plays online multiplayer games is aware that at some point you either are a part of on the winning side or the losing side of a blowout, because that is what's part of the matchmaking. Like you expect in Call of Duty, it happens. In Halo, it happens. And it's weird to try to prevent that, because that's a thing that happens in these games. Like it's like maybe you're worried that people quit the game if they get into a blowout, but then they're not really able to continue playing the game that way if they're going to get too emotionally caught up over a blowout loss. So it's a little weird that they were trying to fix it, and then also a little weird that, well, not a little weird, but incredibly weird that they decided to just put a full-on matchmaking just bandage that then prevented the actual gameplay. Because sure, you get matched up against people of similar skill, but if either one of you have a lag advantage or a latency advantage where you're the host and the other person is 1,000 milliseconds behind the game world, you're going to stomp them because they can't hit you with any of the shots. You literally eat shots, or they're eating shots, and you can't have any of your shots land.
And think about it, Tefty. What other experiences did we find in PvP? Blade Dancers hit registration sucked.
Oh my god!
Hammers would explode based on proximity and not hit their targets. And I'm not talking about the nerf. I'm fine with the nerf, but the actual function of them sucked.
Yeah.
The flame shield didn't activate when you tried to melee somebody not half the time, but it was noticeable that you would get in a lagging game and your flame shield wouldn't activate. I mean, I can go on, man. It seems like something like they were tweaking under the hood, and they were using a monkey wrench and just slamming the engine. I don't know. It doesn't
That's
feel
what I'm saying. Like I feel like they took out connection-based matchmaking, and it's been now 2 weeks in a row where I've been playing Trials, and the Lighthouse match has been decided over red bar connections.
Mm-hmm.
And that really sucks because, you take the time, you take about an hour to get up to the Lighthouse, and then you get into a game where these red bar warriors eat shots, and like they can't be killed. And
that was one of everybody's clapping moments of the release of Trials of Osiris too, was that this is going to be connection-based matchmaking. and it's not anymore. They changed that, and I think the Trials of Osiris is worse for it.
Yeah,
it's become a point where I was only excited. I'm going to tell you honestly, I used to play the raid 3 times a week. I'd do hard mode raid. I'd probably do Vault of Glass once or twice a week just for fun. I would do all the daily, the weekly, the nightfall. I would, on all my characters, I would play PvE like, I have over 2,000. I have 2,200 days played or something like hours. I don't know. Some crazy amount of time played in this game, and I love it. But now I'm literally signing on to do the daily to get my marks, right? Because I'm a whore to the legendary marks, and I got to get them. So I'm signing on to get those, and only for Trials of Osiris. That's it. Mm-hmm. And this is coming from a guy that played the entire game every week 3 times over. Like, nuts, right? What's going on here? I can't be the only one who's just freaking over this, right? I mean,
no, you're not.
It's not fun.
No,
it's
no,
not fun with the amount of skill base.
It's the same. I'm experiencing the same thing. Like the only time I really play is for Trials because it was kind of this bastion outside of these weird connections that we've been getting, where for the most part I'm getting green bars. Well, this week was kind of it was the first week where I really experienced getting matched against, teams of full yellow bar, full red bar consistently.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to do the No Land Beyond double carry this weekend, and 3 out of the 4 runs were ended by, or our mercy got taken away by, a team that was located in Russia or Brazil or United Arab Emirates. And I'm just sitting there going, all these guys on my team are in America because I asked, where are you guys located? Just not to be, a dick, but I just want to know in case we get matched up against a fire team somewhere. And, just that happening is so unbelievably frustrating. And really if you guys are listening right now and going, God, these guys, are really bitching and moaning about this, it's because we fucking love this game.
That's right.
Like these shooting mechanics, there are so many things. Popping your super, just fucking demolishing something. It's so awesome. Game. It feels fantastic. You have this wonderful experience on shooting things and just this awesome community built around it. And it feels like it's falling the fuck apart every single week. And it gets to a point where the thing that you love playing is no longer fun, but the underlying thing that's fun is still there. It's just you're trying to reach for it, but it's not there. And it sounds like a drug addiction or something, but still, it's
Destiny is an addiction, man.
We play it every day. We play the game every day.
Every day. And you know what? We're experiencing a withdrawal. We're experiencing bad. We're pissed at we're pissed at our dealer because he sold us a bad batch of meth, and we're tripping like we're just having bad time right now, and we paid for the pure stuff and he gave us crap, and we're upset about it. And as soon as we're done getting as soon as we can find the door and get over to his house, we're gonna let him know about it. So I don't know. That's a bad analogy.
Honestly, the worst part of all this though is that they tucked this in with the SRL event.
Yeah,
That's honestly the worst part because we were like SRL, and you could jump in with a full fire team of 6, so there was the illusion of private matches happening.
Yeah,
and then it was and they blamed it on SRL as well, that the matchmaking was different, and then here we are with the full admittance of it. Yeah. I feel like that's it's the icing on the cake. It was
so where do we go from here?
Yes.
What does Bungie need to do?
What do they need to do?
What do we want out of Bungie? What do we want to see?
Turn off that skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah.
Turn it off completely as far as I'm concerned.
A mea culpa.
Just
go
connections. Yeah. Connections.
Yeah. Just mea culpa right now. Not the half sorry.
Yeah.
That half
not
sorry
in the next weekly update.
Me off.
Right now.
Yeah, not it's coming in the future, don't worry, there's great things, blah 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 blah.
We were just trying to make the game better for you, so we thought we could get the best information by not telling. No, fuck. Just go. All right, we got this. We're gonna make it better for you guys. We're gonna and do it now, and not next week, not next month. Now, And
I put out a tweet. I said, please, Bungie, unflip the unfun switch before Iron Banner hits for Rift.
Give me the fun
because I want to play Iron Banner Rift without these crappy connections.
What else can they do to fix it? They can listen to their community. They know where we are. We've told them the stuff that's on our list. And remember when Deej a while back had it feels like Groundhog Day, to be honest with you. Year one, we had an issue.
It's history repeating.
Yeah, it is. Year one, we had an issue of lack of communication, and they said, okay, we're hearing you, we're listening to you. These are the things we're working on. 1, 2, 3, 4. We may not get to 3 and 4, but we're going to do 1 and 2. This team is working on 1. This team is working on 2. This is what they're doing. Remember that? Remember when those weekly updates were like that? When is the last time we've seen that?
Yeah, the outlook was very positive up until now.
Right. When was the last time that we got a weekly update that said, this is the shit we're working on?
The last time it happened was when Irk came in on that weekly update, and there were a bunch of cries from the community saying we need like a roadmap because there's just nothing right now. Right. And it was a vague outline, but it was like the first kind of almost tangible thing that we had was when Irk said,
"That's right.
There's an update coming of this size in this general timeline, and there's a much larger one coming at this later timeline."
But I'm talking about so there's two different things that we're looking at, Briar, and your question's valid because what can they do to fix it? They can give us information like they did, which I think they did. They gave us a rough outline of what to expect, and I appreciated that. So it's not all bad. I would have wanted more information, but I appreciated that. They have not given us a roadmap for the fixes.
Or for year 2.
Or year 2. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like we're in the dark. It's not a good place to be, and it's at a really bad time where people's spirits are low on the game, and it's more. You know what really pisses me off is that my friends list, all the people that I enjoy playing this game with, are gone. A lot of them. And I take that personally because these are the friends that I hang out with every day, and they're playing other games, and
my clan is mostly dead right now.
That makes me mad, and I hold people responsible for that. That they could have done something about that, and maybe that's childish of me, but that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
They provided a place where I made a lot of friends, and now that place is kind of gone, right? I mean, it's still there, but it's like it's getting run down and derelict.
Yeah.
They also need to start getting everybody on the same page here. Like, if you're going to communicate with the public about Destiny, you need to be on the same page as everybody else who's doing that. They cannot have people giving 2 different versions of what's happening. They did this with the weapon update, and now they're doing it with the skill-based matchmaking. This is bad for their company. They have a public-facing company that they need to get everybody on the same page. Like if you're gonna be on Twitter, then you need to start getting stuff approved by like Bungie.
Staff. I think that's the problem that's going on though. Like I really feel like, again, like Pope was talking about, we can't make them out to be villains because obviously the people at Bungie are not villains and they're not trying to actively screw us because we play this game. Like that's an illusion and is not the case. I really feel like half the company is conflicted with the other half, where half of it wants to keep it internal because they're trying to figure out what they're doing for the future, and the other half is like, do you hear the community yelling? Like, we legit need to tell them what's going on. And they keep on having a fight, and at the end of the day, or at the end of each day, they end up not resolving it, and so they just stay quiet. I really feel like that's what's going on right now.
Yeah. So that's where I think that Irk thing came from, was when he just like, I don't know, man. I'm not inside there. I can't really comment on it, but it felt like some people at Bungie just couldn't hold it back anymore. They needed to tell it. Like, okay, we got stuff coming in year 2, guys. We got stuff coming in year 2.
You can almost feel that there's tension behind the scenes on how to play this out, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want even when Deej is out there tweeting like how long it takes him to make a weekly update. He's
right.
This morning he's like, I got a list of things that I need to check are okay to like send out. I'm like, well, sucks.
Right, yeah. This guy. So also, I know we're on a bitch fest spiral, right now. And I think
Yes.
like the thing to keep in mind is that the silver lining of this is how passionate the community is and how we are about it, which definitely says that Destiny is not dead. Because dead means we could care less, and we're like, so what? That horse is gonna rot and die out in the pasture, whatever. Like
dead means that Reddit post wouldn't have immediately had like the 2,000 responses in under 30 minutes.
That's right.
Dead meant every single person on my Twitter feed wasn't blowing up in some form or fashion, whether it be both good or bad. This game's not dead. It has one of the most passionate user bases behind it that so many companies would give to have this like level of a fan base.
Yeah, exactly. So people out there worrying that the game is officially dead, it's not. It's definitely not dead. There's stuff coming out. It's going to be exciting to see what they come out with, and hopefully they get their internal PR fixed, because apparently it's completely broken and needs to be reworked from the top down or whatever in Bungie.
I'm upset that my excitement for the Valentine's Day event has been crushed. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
Like that,
just like my heart every Valentine's Day.
Thanks, Patrick.
No problem.
I guess I am passionate about this game and the community and friends that I've built around it. And I can't stand here in the middle of this house that's on fire and pretend like it's not burning down around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the best I can to save it. And maybe I'm wrong in what I'm doing and what I'm saying, but man, it can't be wrong if that's what I'm feeling, and that's what they need to understand. And I think there's a bunch of other people out there who feel the same way. I want to be excited about the Valentine's Day. I think the Iron Banner armor is freaking sweet. Love it. Want to get more of it. I can't wait to try out that fusion rifle. I mean, if it's supposed to be it's supposed to be one of the few that has a 4-bolt kill.
I got it to drop for me last Iron Banner, and I like it.
I'm really excited. I want to talk about that stuff. So, but it feels like if they're gonna keep fucking with us, right? It's gonna take away from the focus, which should be the cool game that we like to play together, and that's it.
It's not fun to be a fan when you feel like you're getting lied to.
That's it.
Yes.
And I'm gonna stop my rant. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
I appreciate Pope. I really agree with you.
Fantastic.
I think it needed to be said.
It did. Absolutely. I mean, solid points all around.
It is a shame that this update, where we all could be really excited for, the new content or the new event, Iron Banner coming through, like that one little section there at the end, like that's the real kicker. That's the real big topic of Discord and strife amongst the community right now is that skill-based matchmaking thing that they put in. Everything else, I'm fine and dandy with it. It's great. Get it all in. Just shovel it in. Get more of it. I'm fine with all that. Mm-hmm. But God, have you learned nothing?
Yeah, right. Don't tell me you're going to be more transparent in the future. Be more transparent.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Well, because it's also, that's like, we've heard that many a time.
Yeah.
In many other scenarios, that with them saying we will be more transparent in the future. Please make that apply to everything and not just this one circumstance that it seems to like get applied to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is I know personally I love, like, I know Deej and Irk well. They're friends of mine, and I know the hard job that they've got, but I can't think about that right now, right? I can't think about that. I got to think about the game that I love and the community that I want to support, and I got to speak my mind. And I haven't been this pissed since the House of Wolves and the no raid drop. I haven't been this upset since that, and it really feels like they had an opportunity and they just fucked it up. So anyway, can we talk about something cool?
No, unfortunately, we got to talk about the Blind Watch Trials map.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, damn it!
Dude, Briar. Solid transition.
I wanted to.
Damn.
God.
That was, dude, props. Briar, new host for PlanetDestiny podcast.
Yes. He secretly is already.
That new, or that blind watch. So, who enjoyed the blind watch?
Raise your hands.
I'm actually raising mine, but you can't see it.
You enjoyed it?
I think the only reason I enjoyed it is like.
Can you describe Blind Watch? Like, so the people listening, like, if you didn't get a chance to play Trials, what are we talking about here? What kind of map is it?
It's one of the Mars maps. It's got an indoor area and a large outdoor area. You'll know it when you see the big kind of upright turbine.
Yeah, the turbine and the canopy.
Yeah, and the canopy.
The internal B point. Yeah.
Right.
And used to be kind of one of the most notorious control maps because it was so badly balanced for control.
It still is.
It still is, but I mean, it was real bad when it first launched.
It's on a map that's considered an attack and defense side, right?
So it's the Stormcaller map, by the way. It's the Stormcaller map. When you go and get your Stormcaller, you go on that map.
That's the one that you do it.
Yeah,
that's right.
The one.
That's right. That's how you get your Stormcaller, right? So one side is with the rotating room is much higher than the other side that you spawn
the attack
into,
side.
the attack side, and so it promotes the way that you are looking down and the sniper lines and everything about it and the choke points promotes one side being the defenders, right, of their base, right? If there was an attack and defense base, if this was like capture the flag or something, right? Or one-sided, one flag or one bomb, this would be a great map for that. But the map design is meant for one side to hunker down and the other side to attack them. Why the hell would you have a Trials map where... Well, I'm sorry. I got to mute myself. Okay.
I see that is one of the reasons why I like the map. It's one of the very few maps that has two entirely different play styles for each spawn. Now, do I think that makes a good map?
But
Absolutely
they don't flip the spawns
not.
in the middle of the game.
No. It doesn't make a good map. It doesn't make a good map. But the distinction of it having these two separate play styles associated with each side is interesting to me. However, that is so unbelievably frustrating to play against, where you spawn on top and then you get a team who you can definitely tell their only strategy has been, I hope we spawn on the defensive side so we can go in this one little room and then camp the ever-loving Christ out of it, because it just also happens to spawn right by the capture zone. It is so frustrating to run into that over and over again. That being said, this is something about the map. I still kind of liked it, but it's one of those maps that it's the ones that I'm like neutral leaning towards dislike. I also am kind of biased on it. I completed the No Land Beyond double carry challenge on this map.
Nice.
But yeah,
I will say it's got some good sniper lanes. It's got some fun snipes on it that can happen. And if you look for them and you get those, like I had some moments on the map that just felt fun. But the times that we did lose to skill and not lag, it was teams that were very good at holding down that B corridor and just camping like a champ until the flag showed up, which doesn't inspire fun gameplay for equally skilled teams.
No.
Just not. It's also a map that really heavily favored just passive play from both sides with sniping. Agreed. Like even if you spawned on the quote unquote attacking side, you could just as well sit on top of the canopy sit on top of wherever and then just put your butt down, crouch with a sniper rifle, and you're set. You're set.
Grow a garden.
Yeah, just start growing a garden, get some s'mores, pitch a tent, all the fun things.
I believe a map should represent the game mode, right? They're designed in that way, right? And
I agree.
If we had one bomb or one flag or several other game modes that are PvE, PvP. What do they call it? They're objective-based game modes. That map would have been perfect for it. But we're sitting there.
They could fix most of it just by flipping spawns every time.
Well, yeah, we've been saying that since the beginning, and they keep giving us this crap that that they're balanced, and they give us these percentages of like, you know, it's 50%, you know, win loss on both sides, so there's no reason to change it. But I don't believe that. There's no way that this is a balanced map.
Taking enough data, of course, it evens out to 50% with a big enough pool. Because of the skills are wide and varying, and the number of times you spawn on this side versus that side, like the same skilled players are spawning on both sides essentially throughout several tickets. So the fact that they're like taking this data and saying, well, obviously it's balanced, like, no, come on, you got to look at the teams, like, and the skills, and only spawn them on certain sides, and then find out what usually happens with that. Because if you camp in that hallway, you have a very high success rate against an equally skilled team.
It was frustrating.
Would you guys prefer it go back to the way it was in year one, where we just had a very specific number of Trials of Osiris maps? Or do you guys like this where, yeah, you might run into a map like this week where maybe it's not your favorite, maybe it's unbalanced, but at least it adds variety to Trials of Osiris?
I think they're just they're taking a shot. They're flinging shit at the wall and seeing what sticks as far as the community likes it, as far as map selection goes. Because as much as I liked the first year of Trials of Osiris, that map pool was pretty small, and there were a lot of other maps I would have really liked to see.
It's
this
fun
time around,
trying to figure this stuff out. You know, like that first couple or hour or two of Trials of Osiris, where you're learning the routes, you're learning the maps, because that's fun. Like that's my favorite part of Trials of Osiris.
Yeah, me too.
And most of the maps, and I gotta hand it to Derek, like how he's setting them up. Most of the maps, there's some element of figuring out how your play style fits into the map, but this is more systemic than that. This map breeds a passive game style for players that are not passive. Like that is it doesn't talk about your loadouts or it just doesn't go to the place where a PvP player that's trying to be competitive and win games and have fun with their friends and find out it doesn't lend itself to that. So it was just a poor selection. It should not have been made. I
think it's okay that we get it once. If they hear that we don't like it that first time, okay, let's not see it again.
Well, I agree. And they could simply answer this by rotating the spawns and stop dicking around about it. Just better. Rotate the spawns. They do it in every competitive game mode that has objective-based game modes. They do it. In Call of Duty, like they do that. They don't ever have the same team spawn the same place every time for the entire competitive round.
I wonder if that's a limit to the way Destiny is built.
Can't be.
It can't. That seems so.
That can't be that way.
I mean,
spawns flip when you go 1 inch over the B mark on Bannerfall. They can make spawns flip.
That's true. All right,
for Trials of Osiris. Come on,
no
make
excuses.
I don't know, Briar. I know it's coding's harder than we always kind of joke around about the community saying, "Oh, we'll just make it happen." But I don't know.
You know what this means, though?
What?
If they're flinging stuff at the wall, you know that they're going to fling Cathedral of Dusk at us.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's going to be the week. I hope that's this week because I'm going to be gone for pretty much the entire weekend. And I don't even want to consider trying to actually run that map.
I think it's just too big to do it.
Cathedral
it is pretty big.
What's the moon map that's huge? They used to have vehicles on.
It's not that big.
Blind Watch?
It's not that big.
First Light.
First Light.
It feels that big.
It feels that big.
Across it.
It honestly is pretty close to the same size. Not in total width. Not in total size, but like it's the equivalent. Like it's probably the same. They're probably the same length, but it just doesn't have as much. Oh God. Girth. I couldn't think of a word, and I'm tired. I'm sorry. So have fun with that, chat.
You guys want to have some fun and do some Twitter questions?
Yes.
Please. Yes, please.
Hey, but all things being equal, Trials is always a lot of fun. I have a great time with my friends. I got frustrated when we spawned lower side. I got a really exciting, really fun. I got to play with Anbu. He did, you know,
Nice.
he's a great guy, and my son, who's 8 years old, got his trials carry with Anbu, who backpacked both of us.
Nice.
It was totally cool to take my son to the lighthouse and just having him sit next to me and feel the excitement of a new player who's raw with the game and getting that gear, and you know, it was just a lot of fun. I just wish it was on a map that I feel like would have been more balanced. So, but yeah,
Sure. Cool.
All right. Do we have I felt like we had another topic that we wanted to do, but I can't think of what it was. I might just be making that up too. Sometimes I think I'm forgetting something when I'm leaving the house. Hash at Grandpappy Hash. Do you think they added too much RNG? Buying weapons from Cryptarch and not re-rolling and raid drops, etc. So do you guys think there's too much RNG right now in the game?
I think the amount of RNG is fine. They just need to like increase the amount of drops, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Like, just
That makes sense.
look, I'm fine with like getting these rewards, because usually a reward is like, oh, it's an okay roll, it's decent. I'd really just enjoy, you know, oh, I did 5 Crucible matches and I came out with 3 legendaries. Okay, that's cool. Just make that shit rain.
Yeah.
In all activities, not PvP, not just PvP, just everywhere. It's raining legendaries. You're getting weapons, you're getting armor. Oh, legendary engrams. Yeah, you know, they're just flying out of things, and it's not just armor that's dropping. You know,
Yeah.
I love getting those, the class item engrams, legendary class item engrams.
Yeah.
It's so fantastic. 3. Oh, cool! I got 3 legendary marks. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know, in lieu of not having the chance to re-roll weapons,
Yeah, exactly,
it'd be nice if we
reforging.
got more weapons for chances to roll.
They
Yeah.
took and it's funny too, because in when re-rolling was available, the drop chances were so much higher. Crucible was just, you know, it was just flinging drops at you.
Yep.
Iron Banner flinging drops at you. Now it's like a barren wasteland, and then you're like, oh, well, I got this thing that's mildly useful. I guess I'll use that because I
Yeah.
can't get anything else.
Yeah, I think like it's really close, but they really need to up the weapon drops.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of armor. Like 80% of the time it's armor.
Yeah.
If they increased it so you started getting weapons, either increased the weapon drops or just rebalanced it so it wasn't as much armor and more on the weapon side, or like even, depending on how far you are along with the game, I think it would be really it'd work out really well right now. Because overall, when you do get the RNG drops, or when they do roll, like I don't mind that RNG right now, or how the raid and the infusement side is going. But the fact that the Vanguard and the Crucible weapons drop so infrequently, it's annoying actually. I want that 1,000-yard stare.
I'd like guaranteed chances in a hard mode raid more frequently. Like I don't like how long it took me to get a hard mode helmet and a normal mode helmet. I feel like
You'd
that
probably
was a
still
little
be
bit
looking
off.
for it.
What's that?
Even with that, you'd probably still be looking for that helmet if it hadn't been for challenge mode, right?
Yeah, and theoretically I could still be looking for it because it wasn't a guaranteed drop out of challenge mode.
Yeah.
The first week I did challenge mode, I didn't get any helmets.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, next question. Jess Brainham at Draco04 Warrior. In Destiny, would you like to see more character customization?
I want a beard.
Yeah.
I want to put a beard on my character.
I want to put Defty's beard on my character.
I want Tefty's beard on my character too.
We were talking before the
Male or
podcast,
female?
and we all came to the conclusion that Tefty's beard is actually the most popular member of the podcast.
That's right.
It goes Tefty's beard and then Tefty.
Then Tefty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a monster.
Yeah, we did a poll
you
on
don't
this.
you don't want to hear how it talks to me at night.
we did a poll on this last podcast, and after Tefty's beard, it was actually my dog. So
Dave at Sneery Crayfish 5. Do you see SRL coming back? If so, when?
yes.
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna say during that time between when we have no idea what's coming, and then maybe that content patch that's supposed to happen at some point after February.
So
there's a nice like 2-month, 2.5 month, or 3-month patch that Sparrow Racing League could possibly drop.
Yeah.
March or April. Yeah.
Yep, that looks good to me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's definitely coming back though.
Oh, it's definitely coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your hair sniper at Recon Sapper. Is Grimoire score going away, or will we get an incentive to raise the score?
Next, I think the next PVE drop will give us some more Grimoire to find.
Well, my question back is, what are you expecting from Grimoire?
Well,
it's just a measure of, it's like you've killed this many things or you've completed this activity. I don't know what the person's really expecting from Grimoire if they're wanting to increase.
It's an EPing thing, I think. You've usually what it comes down to more so than you've killed this stuff is you've gone out and found these ghosts, because most people kill all that stuff just by playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of like there was like the ogres that it took a really long time to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the person, like, is there an incentive? Like, there is no incentive.
The incentive is you can unlock stuff in the Grimoire, which I think is probably one of the biggest failings in the game. Is that
because I can unlock that with a PDF that I can go download off somewhere on Google.
Well,
true enough, but the failing is really that it's not in the game. That you don't unlock something in the game. That Grimoire should be in the game, and that would incentivize you to go find those ghosts.
You know how we do. Different people are doing the lore readings where they're acting out the Grimoire. I think that an audio, when you find a Grimoire, it should read it out, and it should be an voice actor acted. The
rendition. BioShock series did that so wonderfully.
Mm-hmm. It's great. It's great. I want to read it to me.
I don't know if you guys have ever played BioShock. I highly suggest you go play it.
Everybody's played BioShock.
Yeah, like the entire BioShock series is one of the most fantastic games. You find these little record player things, you play it, you can go view it again. It gives you'll still understand the story by not getting them, but you'll get all these other little tidbits that make you care about the story that
exactly
much more.
What the Grimoire is.
The Grimoire is.
Yeah. But just the Grimoire is half done. It needed to connect into the, and I liked even in Halo 3 we had those terminals, right? And they were read to you, weren't they?
Is that the first time they were in there?
No, I think they added them afterwards. Didn't they?
In Halo 3, I think they had like video clips. Or no, that was Reach.
No, do you remember ODST? How they would do
ODST
video clips that you would find
clips.
that. But then in Halo 3 there was the terminals, and then you could read the Didact's conversations. It would set up what would be Halo 4, and anyway, so it ended up being a lore that we got to read about who gosh, man, I forget the lore of Halo right now. It's off the top of my head, but it's the ancestors, anyway, the ancients. Anyway, they called them different things, but
I don't think we want Grimoire Score to go away. We just want to see it better integrated into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mike Z at the Leaper. Would the crew like to see more weapons in different weapon slots? So I think what he's referring to here is stuff like No Land Beyond and Universal Remote that makes an appearance in a different slot. I think.
Like, is there fusion rifles, shotguns, snipers, right? Like, is there another
moving
type
around?
Another type of is he saying another type of class of weapon?
Oh, would you like to see more weapons in different weapon slots? So I think what he's saying is like, I think
different weapons classes. Like, so another type
I'd
of
like
weapon.
to see both.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yes. I'd like to see lasers.
Yeah. He said, would you like to see more? He could just stop at, would you like to see more weapons? Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And
the answer
more
is
slots?
yes.
Yeah, sure. I don't care. Just
would you like to see more weapon slots?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Forerunners.
Sure.
The chat reminded me Forerunners. That's what it was.
Would you like to see more?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like more of this game? Yes.
Brennan at Brennan 5830. Do you guys think that No Land Beyond Sidearm combo is effective or just for fun?
Hey, I think I can answer this one. Is it effective in the current meta? Yes, it can be effective, but it's It's basically a much more difficult version of Last Word plus 1,000 yard stare sniper. That combo is the exact same thing, but better. No Land Beyond the sidearm is just it's more difficult to use. It's fun to use. It teaches you how to properly engage in a gunfight because you have to judge your distance a lot more. You're going to know where No Land Beyond is going to be better. You're gonna know when the sidearm is going to become more effective. You have to know exactly when to the judge. Okay, I need to bail or I can commit to this gunfight. It's a better loadout to use because you're not going to kind of get pulled along by the weapon as much. You really have to rely purely on your gun skill rather than just an automatic hand cannon or a sniper rifle that doesn't have the wonky characteristics of No Land Beyond. So, short answer, no, it's not really a good loadout to use, but it is a fun loadout to use, if that makes any sense.
Clueless Otto, what do you guys think of Rumble?
It is a game mode. You can kill things.
I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. I like the fact that you only can go in there solo. Before I thought that was lame, but it actually gives you. It's the only game mode where you can ensure the fact that you're not going in with teams and get matched up.
You can bring in like one or two people, can't you?
Only in the classic. Only in the classic Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah, in the current Rumble, you can't. You can only go in solo. Yeah, I find it entertaining.
Yeah, Rumble's one of my favorites. When I'm just chilling out, I don't feel like talking to anybody. I jump into Rumble and just.
I can't jump into Rumble, because I feel like I feel all this pressure that it's 100% on me to win. I have to win this Rumble match, and if I mess up, it's because I really messed up. I can't blame anyone else. I can't blame team. I can't. Oh God, no! This guy he's starting to gain up on my lead. Oh God, no! And then. And then I win, but it's still like, okay, I played it twice. I'm good. My heart can only take that so much.
I can sit in Rumble all day. I can sit in Rumble all day.
I can too. It's one of those games for me that's fun.
I got a Sum of All Tears the other night on Xbox, but it wasn't really like a legit Sum of All Tears. People left because I must have had a great connection or something. I was destroying them. And then a couple of members left, and then I got some wall tears, and I was like, "Aw, it's great that I got that, but it wasn't really real."
You should put it up on YouTube anyway. Not say a word out how cheesy it is. Just be like, check it out. This is how you get some of all tears.
Did you guys see the? It was a video that ran around Twitter. I have to pull it up right now so I can make sure to give credit. But a guy went 1v3 full trials matches, and it wasn't against like nobody quit out. The other team was decent players. He just had superior map knowledge and movement, and it was really cool to watch. I'm gonna grab his name real quick here. So
yeah, it was a really interesting thing to watch. He would he chose his engagements very carefully. Ramblin'. Yeah, Ramblin'.
That's it. That was really cool, man. I got to give that guy props for sure.
A lot of people are going to go, "Oh, your opponent's really bad." It doesn't matter. It's a 1v3 situation. Yeah, if you're going up against, Luminosity and two Luminosity clones, yeah, you're going to get your face kicked in. But a 1v3 scenario is entirely on you. You have to know your character's movement so well. You have to know the map so well. You have to know how everything is going to work. It's a very difficult thing to do, regardless of if your opponents are a potato or a god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they weren't potatoes either. Like when he got weak or shot, they would push. They tried to pinch him. I mean, they were doing stuff. I mean, they weren't like the best PvP players I've ever seen, but they were playing together, and he was just. I just think it's you just can't take that away from the guy. I mean, that was fun to watch.
Awesome,
very fun. Gary Bruce at Bruce GX23. What impact can you see the Division having on Destiny?
Competition is always a good thing.
Always.
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody, all consumers win when there's competition.
Raise your hand if you have pre-ordered the Division.
I'm raising my hand.
Trying to decide what like
Xbox One or PS4
or PC.
So
Yeah.
3 of the 4 of us have pre-ordered it already, and
FPS Master Race.
Tefty is just trying to decide where to pre-order it.
I am trying to decide.
Remember this: the Xbox One gets the beta a day early, and you can always return a pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. What did you guys pre-order on?
Xbox One.
Oh,
PS4.
PS4. Yeah.
I'm leaning towards PS4 just because.
That's probably where I'll be playing is on PS4, but I pre-ordered it on the Xbox One to get that beta a day early.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can return it before the game comes out.
I got a chance to play the alpha, and it was a fun game. And what do I think that Destiny is how it's going to be affected by the Division? I'm hoping that it challenges them to up their game,
to keep their player base active.
Mm-hmm.
If I could speak about the Division just ever so quickly, there was a lot of footage that came out over the week from just various sources that got to play early release, beta access, and stuff. And the one consistent thing that I saw that I did not like was a problem that Destiny had in the very beginning, and that was bullet sponges. Except this game took it to a whole nother level. Everything was a bullet sponge. It was bullet sponge and then bullet wall that you were facing in terms of enemies. So hoping that gets turned down a lot. We'll have to see. Yeah.
So when I played, I had a tough time because you're walking around.
Pope, there's NDAs with the alphas.
Am I?
Yeah, there's NDAs with alphas.
Okay,
with that alpha.
never mind.
Yeah. Sorry.
Shush, Pope, shush, oh my God. I'm actually considering not playing the beta because I want to be fresh when I stream it. Because I'm planning on streaming it.
Oh, I'm planning on streaming that beta.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to play the beta. I want to be I don't want to get disappointed that that's all there's going to be when I play the the retail.
Yeah.
I want to just get the disappointment in the retail and the enjoyment at the same time. I don't want to have my enjoyment.
So what you're saying is you want to get the disappointment after you already bought it and can't return the damn thing.
I mean,
So,
I'm a streamer. I'm a streamer.
I'm
I'm gonna play it regardless. Like I want to play it,
Right.
But like what I want to do is have the enjoyment of first impression and the disappointment to follow within the same frame of time, as opposed to wow, this is a great game on the beta, and then oh my God, this is all there is after the release.
Mm-hmm.
So. Adam Lowe at the Boss Man 21. Do you like max light level is as important as it was in year one? I think it means do you think max light level is important?
He's a good guy.
It was in year one.
No, max light level is not as important.
Yeah, it's not in PvP or in PvE.
Yeah, I agree.
Guardian Cell at Guardian Cell. Year 1 raid weapons are brought to year 2 light level. Will it break current PvE content?
It'll really make me, regret going and dismantling my Fatebringer, because even with hand cannon changes and everything, Fatebringer is the best. Outlaw, Firefly, and loaded on a hand cannon. That's all you need.
Atheon's epilogue.
Corrective measure.
Vision of Confluence.
Ooh, baby. Can you think of one Vault of Glass gun that was a dud?
The rocket launcher was terrible.
Oh, it was.
It has in Vengeance.
Yeah, that was.
I used the crap out of it, but that was because there was nothing good.
Was it bad, Briar, because of rocket launchers being so ridiculously good in year 1? If you took yes, so if you took the Hezen's Vengeance now and brought it into year 2, would it hold its own?
Yeah.
No. The Crota Zen rocket launcher was even better.
Was it?
Yeah. Hezen's Vengeance, all it had were the
tripod cluster bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, tripod
cluster bombs. Yeah. So it didn't have tracking. If you got cluster bombs, you want tracking to go with it.
Yeah, you put on the bowling ball helmet as a Titan, and then you go for it.
That's true, but I don't like using
There
that
you go.
exotic. It just seems like a waste of an exotic to me.
It looks ridiculous. I hate to
I'd,
be.
I'd rather use Ruin Wings and just fire twice as many
That's true.
rockets.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Rockets really do kind of suck nowadays.
Yeah, they're not big.
I'm glad
Yeah,
that they
I mean,
do.
They're not. There's nothing really useful in the raid. Like even if you had Galahorn, the only thing that it would be useful for is the War Priest. That's it.
Sisters.
Maybe ogres. Maybe
sisters
ogres.
would like just
Sisters would just
be
be
gone.
melted.
Too much health. They have too much health. They have too much health. You'd still have to crit them with like the malice. Think about it. You only have like six or seven rockets.
Six people with 6 people with
Oh,
Galahorn.
Just put a void bow on one of them and you're good.
I mean, we
How
did
about
this
critting
technically.
Galahorns. Had you thought about that, Tefty? Critting Galahorns.
He makes a strong argument.
Black hole.
And a black hole on one of the sisters, 6 Galahorns. It doesn't
I mean,
matter if
Sleeper
her health is too
Stimulant
high.
is pretty close to the damage when you crit with it. And we already know that it's better to use Touch of Malice on a 6-man team for the sisters. So,
Man,
just saying, the War Priest is really the only thing that's good, and then maybe Ogres on Orcs.
Yeah, you know where it'd be good too is the Oryx fight. When you're trying to protect that bubble from the thrall coming in, you can just fire a rocket, forget about it, look for the next set, and then you go into the bubble and you can just unload Galahorn at
true.
the shade.
Yep.
But then you wouldn't have your Touch of Malice to stagger him.
That's true, man.
Yeah. All right. You got me thinking, Tefty. You got me thinking.
Galahorn really wouldn't be that great in year 2. Just saying.
But the raid weapons were all really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys made a good fight for Hesiod Vengeance. I still say it sucks.
I mean, it was
corrective
it was my
measure.
rocket jam for a long time.
Oh, I loved corrective measure. I loved
Yeah.
it. Oh, that was a
Corrective
beautiful,
was amazing.
beautiful heavy machine gun.
It felt like it
Yeah.
fired forever. I still bring it
Not
out
anymore after Field Scout got nerfed. Rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, though, it did fire forever.
Yeah.
100 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, a massive magazine.
Yeah.
Krennic at Krennic TV. What would the Crucible be easier to balance or improve if shotguns were removed?
Shotgun. Okay, I'm gonna
Look at the question.
Say that
The
again.
answer has to be yes. Would the Crucible be easier to balance if shotguns were removed?
Well,
yeah, in the context of that question, yes,
Yes, in the
probably
context,
would be.
yes. Would it be fun to remove shotguns? No.
It'd be less
No.
interesting.
No, it wouldn't be interesting.
Last
either.
words would dominate so heavily, it'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like shotguns, right now, shotguns are in a perfectly fine place. And when I say shotguns, I mean Felwinter's Lie archetype. If you die to a shotgun, it's usually because you are being overly aggressive and you're where you shouldn't be. You should have pulled back sooner. The other, and that's like 90% of the time. The other 10% are some questionable kills that usually result from lag. Rest of the time, shotguns are fine. The Felwinter's Lie archetype. However, all the other shotguns out there, you know, like literally every other shotgun, is not in a good place. And I think those other shotguns could be buffed, or maybe just shotguns balanced around those shotguns, and the other ones kind of taken out. Whatever. We talked about this forever ago.
Jacob Dowell at JD from the IE. Aside from more maps, what changes do you expect to see when SRL returns?
Oh, I think that's a big assumption that more maps, but yeah.
Is it? They stick with the 2 that they have?
What other changes? Okay, so let's say they give us new maps, right? What other changes I think that they should, what I would like to see is power-ups within the maps. I'd like to see like a Mario Kart type feel to it, where you maybe some of the jumps that they incentivize the skill-based jumps rather than just having them be a shortcut, having them be a skill-based jump to a boost or some sort of advantage that allows you to turn that into a bonus.
Whoa. You talking about skill-based jump making?
Yes.
I don't know if Bungie's going to be honest about this with us.
Damn it, tempting.
I'm sorry. I had to.
So done.
I had to throw that one in there.
That's funny. Skill-based jump making.
You made me choke on that one. That was funny. I would like to see. Yeah, Pope. I like that. I would like to see different views behind your Sparrow. Let us change that view.
I want to be able to look behind
Yeah?
me. I want to look
Yeah,
behind me.
rear view mirror on your
I want to
Sparrow.
be able to hit a button
Side
and
mirrors, like a motorcycle.
well, just as you're riding, be able to hit a button and quickly look behind you to see where your competition is.
I like that.
I have to let my cat out. Be right back.
Neil Patel at NP1257. Should the next raid be more close quarters for more varied loadouts again? This is an interesting question because a lot of the encounters in this raid, I feel like, are dominated by scout rifles and sniper rifles because they're so far away. You know, everything you're shooting is so far away that
Right.
It's so far away because the encounters themselves are designed to be done from very specific places.
yeah.
So it kind of enforces the whole, you stand in this spot. Oh, you're going to end up using a scout rifle to make sure
Right.
everything dies as far away as possible.
Compare that to Crota's End, where everything had a very claustrophobic feel. You know, you're getting chased by the thrall through the beginning portion. You know, you're fighting those sword knights close range. You know, it's a much more claustrophobic raid.
Yeah. I think they could just design the encounters better to, work around that instead of having to stay in very specific areas.
Amir Rocks at Amir Rocks 777. How do you think we should move our character to Destiny 2? On a USB disk.
Yes.
USB stick.
Yes. Porting
Or
over your
possibly
character.
over the interwebs. We
Yes.
can actually transfer him.
I think what they're going to need to do is they're going to acknowledge that PS3 and Xbox 360 players are going to want to not leave their Guardians behind. And that
Right.
if they're going to make Destiny 2 new consoles only, I think they're going to need to provide some way of porting over your character to the new game.
So
As long as I get my Dead Zone Revolution cloak, like I'm gonna be cool.
I think the big question that everybody's wondering and wants to know or anticipating is whether or not we're still going to be able to use year 1 weapons in year 3 once a whole
Please
new
no.
system has been brought over. Right.
Please no.
I hope not as well. Like, because I don't want to be able to go into regular Crucible where levels are not switched on, or we don't have level advantages, and then see year 1 weapons. I think that would just wreck the game right there if they made that happen. But at the same time, I am one of these people that feel like I did earn some of these legendaries, and it would be nice to go into a playlist that was like a year 1 playlist, kind of like we have right now, classics. But I'd like the classics to have a cap to it, and it's almost like levels of powers enabled. So you have year 1 power, year 2 power, or just whatever previous power, and then the current scheme of however the meta is at the moment. So year 3 weapons are obviously going to be better than year 1 and year 2 weapons. So you can't bring them into regular Crucible and feel like, oh, I wasn't there when I got a thorn or whatever, some crap like that.
I like that
As
idea.
opposed to canning them completely,
I like that idea. I want to be able to make the choice. I like what they've done to allow your Crucible a place to play your weapons from your year 1 weapons. I like that idea. I think you can continue that trend, and but I think that you have what you're saying. Make the playlist more competitive and level advantages. The ones that have level advantages activated, have those be the year 3, right?
Yeah.
What I really want to see is how should your character progress through to year 3? You should be able to like switch from Xbox to PlayStation or PlayStation to Xbox with console switch like that. I really feel like that would do a lot of good in the community. I think that would be really helpful. I also think that if like we're seeing year 3, bye year 1 and 2 crap. Just no, it's gone. It's not in the game. You can't
even
use
pull it out.
If they're gonna need to do if they're gonna do that, like say year 3 or Destiny 2 is it's gonna need to be something like a different time in space, like a different. You're gonna have to look. We talked about this maybe a couple weeks ago, but having Destiny 2 maybe be the history of the Guardians and the first battles of Twilight Gap, and having them when the Fallen first started to invade Earth, and the Traveler showed up, and I just feel like if they're gonna do away with Year 1 and Year 2 guns completely, they're gonna have to just have it be a totally different place and time.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, why are the guns gone?
Yeah. I mean,
Really,
I kind of want to like at least be able to see it in my vault. Be like, I remember this. I have memories with these weapons. So, but I don't want to see them showing up in like Year 3 Crucible, just regular Control. Like that would bring a tear to my eye.
well, I think it's really interesting how we're getting different perspectives on the game, and I'm hoping they put a piece of the studio together that is really working on a different version of Destiny 2 than we got in Destiny 1. That I see. I noticed in the chat, Triple Wreck was talking about the different studios that take care of Call of Duty, right? Infinity Ward versus Treyarch, right? So
Sledgehammer,
right? And I've always felt that for at least competitive PvP, Treyarch has saved the game for me, at least.
Definitely.
And
Treyarch did an amazing job.
I would like to see that something like internally like that. I know we talked about Blue Moon Studios doing some work on Destiny 2. Maybe this game needs a fresh perspective and kind of two studios attacking each other, not attacking each other, but taking a different perspective on the game. It'd be nice to see what another approach to Destiny would be. I don't know.
I think that would be awesome. I think that would be great if that could actually exist. But again, I go back to the problem with Bungie right now. I really feel like half the studio is like, let's be completely transparent, give them all the knowledge that they want. And the other half is like, I don't want these goodies being talked about because I want to see the reaction when I share the goodies or whatever. And then they just keep on bickering at each other. So imagine another company jumping in there and being like, hey guys, let's make this great game. And the main Bungie studio is like, what? We're trying to figure it, like, it'd be great if that was possible. But I figure with Bungie as it is right now, they're trying to figure out their own stuff internally.
I'm going to stop you there, Tef, because I think what you're saying right now is going to go right into the next question.
Sounds good.
The Oxman's Ox at Calco Justin. With the next Destiny game coming this year, does it concern you that we have no information on it?
A bit. To say the least. I mean, I want, like, this whole podcast has been about transparency and the lack of it from Bungie, and then admitting that they technically lied about something. And so the fact that we haven't heard anything about the future definitely affects our viewpoints and affects the community and affects what we talk about it. So,
it would surprise me, though, if we saw anything about Destiny 2 before E3.
Well, okay, with what has happened in the past, yes, it would surprise me. But how a company could actually successfully seed what they're talking about and what they want to bring into the game, they could easily start like giving us little excitement, like a developer's blog. Developers blog are fantastic to give a little insight into what they're developing. Like, here's a geometry of a new character that they just built.
They can tell us that Destiny 2 is coming in September now. That's not going to ruin the surprise at E3 when they show it off and like everybody gets hyped about, oh, look at like this new race. Look at all these new enemies you're going to be fighting. Look at all this awesome, like these new places you'll be exploring. That's not going to ruin the excitement. Just to say now that Destiny 2 is expected in September,
Exactly. A wireframe model of a new weapon.
Yeah.
That's coming in Destiny 2. Wow, that's awesome. Let's talk about it.
Halo with those vid docs. That was great.
Exactly, yeah. Like in like animations, like GIF animations of how they're making characters and all that. I feel like all of that is like I feel like Bungie is terrified of that kind of marketing. And it sucks.
Yes. I agree.
I love Comcast at that awesome guy.
Go away.
What is your least and most favorite strike boss in Destiny?
Strike
boss?
What's
Strike boss?
Your favorite and your least favorite?
Least favorite, Omnigul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw Omnigul.
I don't know.
With the rainbow burn.
Valis to Arik. Pre-patch.
Oh, he goes down so easy now.
Pre-patch.
Oh,
Yeah, but at least you could move
pre-patch.
around his arena with.
I always wondered why
you always had to just like
yeah,
sit
but
in one
here
spot.
let me go
And that
this.
screaming, that fucking
Yes,
screaming.
the screaming.
Oh, the
You're right.
cackling? Oh
the
my
screaming.
God.
Silencer screams. You know what? To be honest with you, I just I don't like the fact that this commander, this technical, this military genius of the Cabal walks back and forth.
Also, he's shooting bullets inside of his building. He comes out and he's like, it's like, aren't you worried about like destroying your military
he's the Cabal,
structure?
man.
The
But
first time though, that was cool.
Yeah,
it was
it's
the
like,
100th
yeah.
time where you're like, "Are you kidding me with this?"
It was cool, but it was also like, wait a minute, you're launching rockets indoors.
Favorites?
I know I'm not going to be a popular guy here, but Skolas.
What? Is a strike boss?
I love that it took teamwork to put him down.
That's true.
It did.
It was hard, and it was challenging, and it had stages to it, and he changed his attack on you, and I don't know. As a strike boss, I liked him.
I'm gonna go with Darkblade for my favorite.
Yeah, that's mine.
Cool strike, and that guy's
Darkblade is fantastic.
It's a completely original concept for Destiny, having it like all in pitch black, and I don't know. It almost feels like that should have been in the Dark Below. Like that whole encounter should have been in the Dark Below. It was such a good encounter.
It also just like it. They got the brightness perfect on that.
Yeah,
you know that's a difficult thing to do in a game, to get the right brightness levels.
Right.
Because that black level and lack of depth is very like it's hard to code that. So like they got that balance perfect where you're in there, you feel like you can't see anything, and then you see a little bit of a silhouette, and you see Darkblade. It's great.
The panic attack that happens on a regular basis on a Nightfall.
Yes,
it's like
when he's charging, when Alakul charges his foes.
And that strike though, when you add in when you go for the sword quest, right? The exotic sword quest, and you go in there for the final fight. That is a straight up legit hard fight.
It's fun.
I mean, you've got the different bosses that come out, the mini bosses, the Arc, Void, and Solar bosses, and each one does.
And you're concentrating on killing them in the right order.
And you're like, that is a tough fight. I agree with you, Briar. I'm changing my view.
Okay. Yeah, Skolas sucks.
No, I like Skolas. I like a challenge, but
bad idea.
But I like what you're talking about, Briar, but I like it more when it's the exotic sword fight than anything else.
I would agree with that. Zero Hellion at Ian Graff. Instead of deleting characters, do you think we should be able to re-customize them? How much glimmer would you pay for it? So I think he's talking about like the barbershop idea where you can basically go in and
how much silver? How much silver would you pay for that? Is that what you asked?
Silver?
Glimmer.
Silver, he said, right?
How much glimmer would you pay for?
Right? Silver?
Nope, glimmer.
Oh.
How much glimmer would you pay for?
I'd pay 10,000 glimmer.
I don't know. I like the idea in Borderlands where you could go in and you could change around your character's how it looks and everything whenever you want.
The kiosk.
Yeah.
I don't need it to be real. Maybe your ghost is a really good barber.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why we gotta pay for it anyway?
Yeah.
Like, why can't that just be part of the game for free?
Yeah, you unlock it. You know, you unlock a grimoire card of Tefty's beard.
How many people made goofy ass looking characters on day one of Destiny, not having any idea?
That's right.
They'd still be playing that goofy ass looking character.
I forgot what my character looks like, so I'm pretty sure I made him look like a goofy ass fucking robot, and I was like, I'm just gonna wear a helmet from now on.
Yeah, a lot of people were pretty happy when you could start wearing helmets.
How about all those guys that made the exos with the bird crap on the face? You know, the one the one that looks like a seagull just took a shit on your face. Like they're like, oh, that's funny. Look at that. I look like a bird pooped on my face. And then now they're
surely I'll be able to change this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wearing a helmet all the time. And then now they've got like this.
More customization would be nice too.
Yeah.
So you could
more customization and beard, like facial hair. They need facial hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I said customize the build of your character too.
Yes. Oh, height, right?
People were talking about width, musculature, like that kind of stuff. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, people were talking about having being able to adjust your height and having that affect Crucible and like the challenge or like other, players are different heights.
I want tower wear. I want to be able to put on loungewear. Like a maybe like a smoking jacket, some
walking around the tower looking like Hugh Hefner.
maybe a little fedora, maybe like
smoking jacket on.
as I walk out of where I walk up from Eris Morn up the steps, I want to just be like kind of swaying my way, doing my slow walk with my pimp jacket on and my hat and my cane.
I'll just be
after
walking around with
Eris?
a wife
After
beater,
visiting
boxer
Eris.
shorts all the time.
No, I'm sorry, not after visiting Eris. Sorry.
Yeah.
She wrong imagery. Sorry.
Wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
The three glowing eyes,
After coming from
dripping
the garage, after visiting my girl over there, Amanda.
I was gonna say, Lakshmi.
What?
Yeah. Crazy Bacon's at Bacon Strips. How many hours per day / week do you dedicate to Destiny these days?
These days?
Yeah. Okay, so for every day minimum, I'm putting in about hour to 2 hours. On stream days, I am putting in around 6 to 8 hours. And then on like some days, I'm putting in upwards of 12. It really depends on the day and how much work I have to do.
I'm putting in roughly around probably like 15 to 20 hours a week. It's about right. 15 to 20.
Yeah, I'm like Pat. 1 to 2 hours a day if I don't stream it. Roughly 6 hours if I do stream it. But I don't hit the 12-hour mark. I have not played Destiny for 12 hours straight since the raid.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with Tefty. I think I'm pretty much. It depends on like what kind of content I'm making and if I'm streaming that day. But like if I'm making a shard or keep it video, I might play for 6 hours straight. Just
getting
exploring my options.
Footage.
Yeah.
But really, like if I'm playing for personal enjoyment, it's 1 to 2 hours a day.
So so let me rephrase that though. That is my gaming time per week, right? And the more recently, I feel like I've been playing Fallout, and I picked up on sale. There was a really quick sale of Second Son. It was like $8.
Mm-hmm.
Picked it up and I've been playing that.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
Yeah,
fun game.
Yep,
looks good too.
I finally got around to playing Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider. I am loving that game.
That's right.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Booty.
Beautiful booty.
Abyss Walker at Kyle Thompson 43. You think Bungie could detach enough from the past Destiny to move forward into year 2, or do you think they'll try too hard to keep past subclasses and weapons relevant? So
what?
I think what he's asking here is, do you think that they're going to detach subclasses and stuff like that from Destiny 2, or do you think all that stuff's going to carry forward into Destiny 2?
Well, that's kind of part of that question that we were talking about. What comes forward.
Mm-hmm.
God.
I think it's like a conflict with Bungie, whether or not some people want to bring it forward. Some people, because again, you get these updates where they nerf final round, yet Luck in the Chamber is suddenly like running havoc. It's like, I think it's like the Bungie development team doesn't know whether or not they want to bring it forward or not. And I can hope that, like I said, what I hope is that I can look at my weapons, maybe use them in a classic playlist, but in year 3, they're not going to be relevant at all. Like they will do half the damage.
Yes, and I would like to see that with subclasses as well. You can still access them, but I would like to see all new subclasses for year 3 for Destiny 2.
Update the current ones.
I want a new game for Destiny 2.
Yeah, the new game, not like here's an expansion with like some stuff added on. Like,
I don't want 3 more nodes on my subclasses.
I don't know how I feel about brand new subclasses. I don't know.
I want another. Maybe another class, and
like 4th character type.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about. Yeah.
But my idea was has been established that I would love it to be like the Arbiter of Halo, where we get a fallen captain that is that we get to learn new attacks and stuff like that, dual wielding, quad wielding swords.
Yes, please.
I mean, how cool would that be? You'd be like
Quad swords, quad telestos.
quad swords, quad telestos. No, there'd be like a limit, and your aim would be
no
totally
limit.
Your,
No
Destiny
limits.
2, no limits.
No limits.
your aim would be horrible, right? You'd be like, because they don't shoot very well. I don't know.
Wait, you're
Tony
saying
Avila at SoCal's one son. What do you think is, if any, the new G-Horn in terms of hype when it drops? I gotta say Black Spindle because you have to work at that to get it.
This year's Gallahorn? Is that what he's asking?
He's asking more in terms of hype when it drops. Everybody got super excited. They got their first Gallahorn.
Yeah.
What are people getting excited for now?
I think people would get excited over some of the gunsmith weapons more if they weren't time gated, right?
And
that's sort of anticlimactic. Like, I mean, the Telelock, I love that gun, man. I think it's awesome. It just came to me kind of anticlimactically. I had to wait so many weeks and like stuff. But I'm with you though. Black Spindle was the one that I was like fist pump. Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
I don't think I have one, to be honest.
For me, there honestly isn't one. Nothing elicits that "oh shit" response that Gallahorn would.
Yeah,
I'm not even a
Black
1,000 yard
Spindle is
stare.
a little anticlimactic because we had the Black Hammer, right? And it's basically a carbon copy. But I just like the way you get it and how powerful it is.
Oh yeah, the way you get it's fantastic.
I will say for people that are year 2 players and that like the Crucible, I legit think that they're buying Legacy Engrams, and when the Thorn drops, they're freaking out.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they can get them.
A high roll 1,000-yard stare too. That's a pretty big, big deal.
I'm too tired to even care right now.
Mason Torres at MTTaz38. What do you guys think about our own social space / home besides the tower?
Like a house you can customize.
I think that's what he means. Yeah.
All right.
Like you lease out an apartment in the tower?
I sublet.
Yeah.
You got rent
Sublet,
control.
sublet. Yeah, it's all bought up, so you only sublet at this point.
I couldn't care less about this unless it has a gameplay advantage. I don't want my own social space. I don't want to be moving couches and bookshelves.
I would
space
like
in Destiny.
Honestly, I would like a place where it's kind of like where your clan, like a tower that maybe you could hang your clan banners in.
Clan hub?
Or a faction hub maybe. I don't know.
Or how about a place that you go to and then you can see who's online in your clan?
And then
that'd be really great. Yeah, maybe send an invite over there. Wow, that'd be legendary.
I think
what would be really cool if that space was also larger than 16 players. So then you could
Your
actually
whole clan
have
could fit in there.
like a tower. It's like, oh yeah, this is the tower. This is where all the guardians go. All 16 of them.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, no. I like the idea of a customizable social space. The idea of Fallout where you have your base and your settlement and you can customize it. Maybe as we defend more than just one of the towers in the wall, maybe there's all these other towers in the wall. Maybe we spread out a little bit instead of focusing all our effort on one.
I got it. You know what they do? They make a iOS mobile game called Tower Hub.
Okay.
And you have to keep on making your tower. You have to get advances in your tower, and you can convert your legendary marks to tower goodies on your phone. You see?
Yeah.
And there's in-app purchases as well to accelerate the process.
Activision did buy King Games, the guys that made Candy Crush.
Yes, they
so
did.
this could be a possibility, man.
I was joking, 100%. It's
gonna happen.
Yeah,
sounds like an awful idea.
That's happening.
No, dude, it's gonna happen.
Josh Coria at Josh F. Coria. To keep things fresh, what new dynamic would you suggest in the next raid?
With dynamic?
Yeah. All right, so I would like to see a chase scene. I've talked about that a ton of times. I would love to see a tower defense, like some kind of tower defense thing where you
Oh, that'd be cool.
maybe you are defender of the last city and you got to sit there with 6 of your friends and fight off, like this massive onslaught of fallen.
Let it
I'd be
burn.
down.
They don't
Let it
even
burn,
let
he
us guardians down in there.
I'd love to see. I'd love to see something that involves a chase mode, like you're talking about, but with it a 2-person vehicle, 2 or 3-person vehicle, like a Warthog or the Revenant from Reach, where you have a gunner and a passenger, and maybe objective game modes where you're capturing something and pulling it back. But yeah, I would love to see vehicles that you could have multiple players in.
I like that.
It'd be great. I'd also like it. You remember we were talking about patrols being able to match up with other patrol groups that were trying to get an objective done?
Mm-hmm.
So this might be crazy and not doable, but if there was a thing where it matched you with other raid teams and there was like a big raid happening, so you go in, you begin it, you're in a 6-man team, and then you get to like a hub of a giant thing that's trying to be taken over, and there's like maybe another raid team or 2 other raid teams. You're trying to take down the objective, kind of like you do when the tank is in the Divide on Earth, and it linked up in those kind of raids. And then after you complete that objective, you move on to the next part, which is just 6-man. That would be
awesome.
really
So
interesting.
you could have like 18 players all team up to fight this one part.
Wouldn't that be sick? Like
That would be
It'd be
sick.
wow.
Y'all
That'd be,
In the
Go
early
play some
days of Vault of
crap.
Glass, have you ever been on patrol in Venus, and then
Yeah.
there's a team trying to struggle to open
Yep.
up the door, and you're like, I'm gonna help them, and they're like all stoked that you're helping them because it's hard, your low light level. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
those are great. Those are great. That
Great
actually
times.
forged a lot of Sherpas.
Yeah.
Like it like sparked the beginning of helping people when you could help somebody open the door or help a team open the door. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna skip this one because I think it's a little too in depth. But Angel at Angel, you guys being high end players, do you get a lot of backlash from average players?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Goes with the territory.
Yeah. I think because you're not really a high end player though, Briar. You just play a lot.
Okay,
I'm just come on, don't let me do that.
I don't know. I don't
Don't
really
just-
get
you don't
backlash.
No.
Term is filthy casual, Pope.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm Briar kicks my ass. You should see him play. He's actually really good. Now, so that's my point. Is you don't let me steamroll you like that. That's now that we get that, but I think that they lose track of the fact that we can open our perspectives on not just the hardcore player, and I think that the community that surrounded this podcast has taught us that. Over the year, I think I started out a lot more limited in my thoughts, and because of the community communicating to us and through the not so nice sometimes comments in our YouTube videos, I've learned to express and open up my perspective.
Nice. I think for me, I've always whenever I've done weapon reviews, I've always tried to approach it from the viewpoint of somebody getting the game and then getting the weapon for maybe the first time. Because usually people who already are extremely knowledgeable know most of the things you're going to say in a weapon review. So I've always tried to approach things from well, what if I didn't know about this game and I really needed to, and I really just genuinely want knowledge. So
Smart.
I try to be aware of that viewpoint. Doesn't always happen though.
Tom Coppins at Tom201288. How do you guys like eggs in the morning?
Over medium.
I like in a
Unfertilized.
gluten-free biscuit with some bacon.
Gluten-free biscuit with some bacon.
And some bacon, just like a little egg sandwich.
I like mine Benedict style.
Benedict.
Hollandaise sauce dripped on them.
Woo, fancy.
I like it coddled in 50-degree water for 3 hours until it's formed into a gelatinous blob served over an English muffin with a nice cranberry type reduction sauce. Then put that over a fillet of duck breast that's been sauteed in garlic and onions until it's got a crispy skin and perfectly.
You ever had eggs on a burger?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yes.
Those are pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Pedro Meza at Pete underscore GDL23. When can we expect a target shader so I can play as Patrick?
It's called New Monarchy, bro.
Yeah.
Just go do that. I mean, you can get the best shader that you want, but the only time that you're ever gonna, have a true target experience is to completely lose your soul by working in retail.
So when we when Halo 4 was dropping, you could get armor specifics by
I
pre-ordering
remember
it
this.
from Best Buy, Amazon, and one of them was Target. And so the armor shader that there was an armor set actually that you could get was a red and white with a big ass like target. And I always thought that was amazingly bad decision from a design standpoint for like, what does my armor look like? You know what? I'm going to put a big target on my armor just in case they can't see me. But anyway, that makes me laugh about it.
Anyways.
Tommy Boy at Tommy Callahan. What would be the best PvP setup for the more sweaty games? Lay it out. Class,
Thorn.
subclass, and weapons.
It's called Sunsinger, Thorn, Shotgun. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that you see, it's like...
That's it.
It's either that or a Night Stalker
last
hunter.
word. Yeah, that or last
Night
word
Stalker,
sniper.
so that you can like counter the bolt grenades. And then still you're running Thorn and a shotgun. So, grats on that weapon variety. I don't sweat enough to really...
Shade Step Shoddy's become a viable,
Thank
since
you,
the
Louie.
last tournament.
It's been the go-to.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more people get good at it, and it's a formidable competition. So setup. So I think that a lot of people are insert Thorn, shotgun, Shade Step.
Yeah, something that that's happening with the game that I don't even think is avoidable. I think is always going to be a case is that the higher up the pyramid of skill, the narrower the weapons get, and there's literally nothing that they can do because of the way the game is set up right now with the way the skill is. So they could try to even out time to kills with guns, but ultimately there's going to be a handful of weapons that are the choice weapons to use.
That'll probably always be the case unless they just make so many generic weapons kind of the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like what we have right now, honestly. There's a lot of really generic choices as far as legendary goes, and then there's the reason like Mida, Thorn, Last Word are good is because they're just Mida is just an actual good baseline weapon that excels over all the kind of mediocre crap that's out there, and then Last Word and Thorn actually have really exceptional uses, really specific exceptional uses, which is why they get played so much.
Yeah. Also, the time to kill, like the longer the time to kill, the harder it is to make all weapons usable. The shorter the time to kill, when weapons become 1 or 2 shots, then you can have tons of them. So.
All right, last question. Banjo Frognuts at Banjo Frognuts. Why do you guys obsess over beards when they all fail in comparison to Pope's butt chin?
Destiny 2, I need a butt chin. I better be able to make one of my characters with a butt chin, please.
This is
so done with this
a
podcast.
dignified chin. This is dignified. It's not a butt
That's
chin.
the first thing that comes to my mind when I see it. Dignified.
Yes.
Dignity.
It's dignified. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I have to I sense we're getting towards the end, so I'm just going to say something. This podcast being so close to the weekly update, you get a visceral response from me, and tomorrow I wake up, I may be more measured in my response, but still as passionate. And I feel like you guys saw me tonight, kind of lose it a little bit, but I feel like that that's the raw emotion, and I hope you guys understand that. So anyway. I needed to clarify that. It just feels like I went on a rant, and I don't like this to be just a negative thing. That's all.
It's our first reaction, we were pissed.
Yeah. Exactly. Was that the last of the questions, actually, Barry?
That was it. Yeah,
that
that was the last
Dude,
one.
we've been going
Save
on
the best
like
for last.
a little over 2 hours now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing that they could have done unless they announced Destiny 2 in that update. We would have been like, what the hell, rip them apart. Unfortunately, they admitted to lying to us, so we had to rip them a new one for that. But I think the future is always brighter once you've gone through a dark period. So,
Yep.
There you
go. Well, guys, that was the 54th Planet Destiny podcast. I'm sorry I sound so tired. It's because I've actually been not sleeping and I'm tired. It's strange.
Damn.
It's strange how that can happen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Get some sleep, man.
Are we gonna end this? Are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you guys know where to find me. PlanetDestiny.com. My name's Patrick Casey and Holtzman. I do stuff, videos, Twitch streaming. You can find all the links there. I'm gonna go sleep.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on YouTube at the Briar Rabbit channel, or on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit, or streaming right here on Planet Destiny's Twitch page.
And I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. That's twitter.com/Teft. And you can catch the streams that I do for Planet Destiny, twitch.tv/planet_Destiny, and my own personal Twitch channel as well, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft.
And this has been Pope Bear. You can always find me and talk to me throughout the week on Twitter at Pope Bear, and streaming on the Planet Destiny live stream. So, yeah.
That was the 54th Planet Destiny podcast, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next. Oh, yeah, by the way, on Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific on Red Bull to twitch.tv/Red Bull Esports, Tash and I will be live shoutcasting the Red Bull Clash Course finals. Yeah, you guys should tune in because I want to see some Planet Destiny hype in the chat there. Yeah.
And we're gonna
Oh yeah,
we're gonna raid somebody. Or are we?
No. We have Tefty, did you keep count of the subs, or do you need me to?
I did. I got the sub list
you
right
do
here.
it this time.
Nice. I found an easy way to do it, which is really great.
All right.
We obviously don't shout subs when we're doing the podcast because it would break the rhythm of the podcast. But for everybody that did sub, I'm going to call it out right now. Wilderman12 with 8 months. Fantastic. Thanks for that resub. Magnus Lightwood, a fresh sub. Brand new sub right there. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Dying Eros 1214. I'm probably butchering that. Also a fresh sub. Thank you for that sub right there. And then also Matalus 728 with 9 months, a fresh spanking baby sub right there.
Woo-hoo!
Nice.
Popped it out of the womb. Fantastic. Thanks for all the support, guys.
Thank you very much,
Oh,
guys.
also, did we just get another one?
Yeah.
We just got another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coben and Pouty with 3 months and then 4 months. I don't even know how that's possible, but
I don't know how that's
it's
possible.
amazing.
That is
Just
impressive.
double dip,
and 4 months.
double down.
He's decided
Double
to just
down
double
right
down.
there.
He's saying, I want 3 and 4.
3 and 4 right next to each other.
That's
Boom.
right. But
Thanks for the support, guys.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
And are we streaming after this?
I am, but I'm going to be eating dinner first. So it's going to be like another hour to 2 hours, hour and a half or so.
All right. So
Before I jump on for the Thursday broadcast.
All right. So we'll be on a little bit later, guys. Let's I guess friend of the podcast that's been a guest on Lucky and Buttwipe, right? So is there another streamer that you want us to visit? You guys?
Sounds good.
Choborek's probably dodging right now, so we can't raid him.
I think he's in our chat.
He's actually.
I know he's been in our chat the entire time.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to rate his chat.
So let's go over and give these guys some love. They're friends of the podcast, and they've been guests on our show, and we'll be on a little bit later to do the Thursday stream with Tefty. So make sure to keep a lookout for that.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for watching, guys.
Later, guys. Are we gonna have like an awkward moment where we all just or
Yeah,
the streams?
we got to do an awkward moment.
Awkward
this is where
moment.
we kind of play grab ass, just kind of sitting here right now.
Banjo Frognuts. It's a pretty great name.
That's a fantastic name. That was a really good name.
Yeah, I'm reckon on Banjo Frognuts. Yeah, I'm going down to the market.
I appreciate a good Twitter name.
That's right. It's like some character in Disneyland. Mr. Toad's
All
Wild
right,
Ride.
I am stopping it.